let me see the meaning of classification. So as you can see on the screen, there are two types of groups. In one group, you can see only fruits, and in the another group, you can see only the some pencil, pen, paper, stationery. So therefore, I have classified these items into two groups. Okay, so one is belonging to the group of
सर
fruits.
अटेंडेंस लिंक किधर है?
Hello, is it coming? Voice is coming?
Yeah, attendance link, sir.
Attendance link. I think Dr. Pavan, please help. Where is the attendance link?
Sir, it is given. Okay, you please go ahead, sir.
Okay. So there are two categories of items, objects in this screen. On the left side, you can see fruits category where all the fruits are there: banana, apple, mango, grapes. On the other side, you have stationery where you can see different items related to our office work, our teaching, learning. So there are two items for that. Now, but general perception is that when you can place the items in the respective groups. Suppose you have two, like you see in the previous screen, there were items. So they were categorically divided into two groups, one belonging to fruits, the other belonging to the stationery. Similarly, in our life, in our daily use, we can classify the item, we can group the item into various groups or categories. So I take two cases specifically. One is which is related because we are all teachers or students, scholars. So the case one is sometime you see first case a student is attending a particular class on C programming with all other students who are also attending this class. So not necessary that all the students belong to a particular class, but when you enter the class is attending all the class, the teacher is teaching C programming, and all the students, all the people who are inside that class, they are attending C program, irrespective of what is the class or what is the group of every student. The case two is that a classroom, in front of the classroom, the label is MCA 1 or BTech 1. So the BTech 1 student, when they want to enter their class, they check at the entry of the class what is written there. They find BTech 1 or MCA 1 is written as a label inside the class, outside the class, and they start entering the class. Those who belong to MCA, they enter the MCA class. Those who belong to BTech, they enter the BTech class. So the label is given. So two places you have seen. One, the classroom without label on the front of the classroom, and the other one, a classroom with a label MCA1 or some other, so that the students do not have anything to check. They simply check the label and enter into the class. So accordingly, we have majorly two types of classification. One is unsupervised, the case one, and the case two is supervised. Okay. In case of unsupervised, similarity decides the group. Who are in the group? Only there is some similarity that they are all studying, they are all attending the C class. They may be attending the economics class. They may be attending the history class. But irrespective of what individual student belong to, maybe BTech student is also attending this class, your C language class, the history student, or maybe computer science student, they are all attending the C class, male, female, they are all attending the C language class. In the light of the present NEP, National Education Policy in India, this will happen that for the undergraduate courses like we are running, so AEC or maybe skill enhancement courses or ability enhancement courses, it is very common that the student belonging to the other department, they are attending your class, whatever you are teaching. So this breaks the limit of being earlier tradition that only computer science student can learn C programming. Now economics student can also learn the C programming. The other case, so the common is that the class which is going on is C language. Like this session is going on in supervised or unsupervised or classification. So anybody, you may be from BTech, you may be from PhD, you may be from any class. The other one, when the classification, in case of the case 2, the supervised classification, there is a label. Every time label is always provided, it is given. So that is called supervised classification. So these two are the very, very popular or very basic. And in fact, let me tell you, they are the backbone of data mining, soft computing, whatever techniques you are going to study for your, I mean, all the applications, they necessarily use these type of classification. Either they will use supervised or they will be unsupervised. So this is about the basic definition of. Now, what will be the role of a classifier? Okay, the classifier is one, maybe algorithm, maybe some device, maybe some model, which will take some unknown pattern. When you supply it to a classifier, it will categorize the unknown pattern into one of the objects which are known to you. Like when you enter, in case of supervised, when you want to enter a class, it is labeled MC1. You are not able to see because it is, suppose it is fade or it is broken, the label is broken at the gate of the class. Then you will check. So the classifier at in front of the gate will check about by your courses, by your fees, by your some other information. Then he will say, oh, there, this is MC1 class. You enter into the class. So that is supervised. So that is a classifier. A classifier will decide in which class you belong to. In case of unsupervised, because there is no label, so when you enter into the class, then you check that you ask the neighboring student, I mean, who is sitting next to in the class already, is this C language class? Then he or she will say, yes, this is C language class. So you don't ask him whether you are a BTech student or you are a economics student. You will see, this is C language class is going on, Saxena sir C class is going on. He will say, yes, Saxena sir C class. So all the students in the classroom are attending the Saxena sir C class. So that is unsupervised. So the classifier is doing this. So there are accordingly two types of classifiers. One used for supervised classification, the other used for unsupervised classification. Okay. Now there are few algorithms which are very popular and common. It is not possible to cover all the algorithms, all the models of class supervised or unsupervised classification, because it will, in fact, every classifier itself is a very I can say it is itself is a subject. So the whole subject may be decision tree, whole subject may be neural network, whole subject may be decision. I mean this support vector machine. So they are very, very lengthy topics. So I'm not going into that much detail, looking to the limit, and I have also to cover the unsupervised classification. So first we start with the supervised classification. First model that we are going to study, decision tree induction. So suppose one table is given, as you can see on the screen. There are certain features or parameters or the property like ID of a person, age, whether he or she has a job, he has his own house, he has, what is his credit rating, what is his. So class means whether a person, like you can see person number 1, he is young in age. False, he has job, no. He has his own house, no. Credit rating is fair, not very good. Then you don't approve loan to him. So this exercise or this example is to decide whether a person who is applying for a loan in a bank or in a finance company, whether the finance company should approve the loan to him or her or not, depending upon the status of the person. So